Hello from Site B, and this is not Nerf. It's what I'm going to call the videos where I do things other than Nerf blasters, and this will be the first one. What you're probably saying to yourself right now is, that looks an awful lot like a Praxis, and you would be right. This is a Chinese knockoff Praxis. The brand is Lameila. Probably not pronouncing that right, but that's the closest I'm going to get. It is full camo, no orange tip even, so I would not recommend running around with one of these. I mean, it doesn't really look like a gun, but still, generally recommend that you have the orange tip on there for safety. Cool thing also is that it does have camo magazines, and as best I can tell from looking inside it, the internals are exactly the same as a Praxis. They have completely ripped Nerf off in that standpoint, so in theory it should be the same, but there are a couple differences in their own custom discs, and I'll pop one out here for you. Don't know how well it shows up on the camera, but there are little bumps on the edge of the disc, sort of like you would think of a golf ball. And I know with the golf ball, that gives it better aerodynamics in flight. And so maybe, just maybe, this Chinese knockoff company has managed to make a better Vortex disc. But first, let's find out if they can do a good job of ripping off a Vortex blaster. And so I'm going to start doing it with its own discs, and then I also have a magazine of regular Vortex discs to give a more direct comparison. But here we go. Let's see how it does. Okay, there's 10 fired off. Pop out the camo mag. And the nice part about being a direct Nerf rip-off is it does work perfectly well. It's fully compatible with the official Nerf Vortex stuff. So slam in my Vortex mag and Vortex discs, and here we go. Okay, and there's all 10 of those fired off. So let's see how they landed. There's really no breeze to speak of here today, so that's nice. That way people can stop complaining that, oh, it's too windy in your videos. Don't worry guys, I do not test in enough wind that'll mess with anything. Anytime I think it's windy enough that it's screwing up the ranges, I go back inside, and you don't see those videos. But here we go, enough of that rant. Lowest disc here, and that is a actual Vortex disc, just under 40 feet. We work our way up. Actually, I'm going to call most of the Vortex stuff, or actually here. We'll start with, that disc has, you can barely see it here, it's kind of embedded itself in the grass. That's our lowest of the Chinese discs that I see. And that's sitting on 51 feet, so not too shabby. Going to call the middle, as I was getting to the middle of the Vortex, probably call that 52. As we work our way up here, here's the middle of the Chinese ones. I'm going to call that 58. The highest Vortex disc I'm seeing is right there. And that's sitting just above, get the shade for you, 59 feet. And there's a Chinese one next to it, but the top of the Chinese knockoff discs sitting right here, right under 65 feet. So maybe there is something to these discs, and the blaster itself performed just like you'd expect a Praxis to. So you can get them from various sites online. Other than they are more expensive, I wouldn't really bother, and just go out yourself. If you want something like that, just go get a Praxis or a Lumitron. Thanks very much for watching. This is the first of Not Nerf. My bad, guys, as sometimes happens, and the grass is a little taller. And of course, green, as everyone's complained from the get-go, green doesn't make for a good visible color. I got back and was like, well, shoot, I'm missing one of the Chinese discs. And here is where I finally found it, embedded even better in the grass. And that is sitting right over 70 feet, so I believe originally I thought that the top shot was 65, so in fact the top shot for the Chinese discs is 70. So, I think I'm going to have to do a test of the various kinds of discs and see which disc goes farthest. Keep an eye out for that video.